Hey guys, it's CocoaTarot, and today we have a pick-a-card on the topic of why you don't fit in. Today we'll be seeing what characteristics set you apart from this current reality and why you're meant to shake things up. My readings are closed for now, but thank you to everyone who has been supporting the channel. But we have 3 piles to choose from based on the images in the thumbnail. So this will be pile 1, this will be pile 2, and this will be pile 3. And I will see you guys in your piles. Hey pile 1, we're going to get right into your reading and see why you don't fit in. If this reading resonates with you when it is over, let me know down in the comments. I'm super curious. And please like this video if you want to see more videos like this. I'm going to lay the cards out, get into the message, and then we will clarify it with the tarot. Let's see what you got, pile number 1. Number 27, optimism, welcome, openness. Optimism makes your heart pure. Family. The Sun. Make the choice that empowers you. Listen to the messages of your dreams. Okay, pile number 1. As soon as your card came out, the first one, obviously you are an optimist. You are someone who doesn't let the propaganda get you down, is what I'm trying to say. You don't fit in because you haven't fallen for the psyop that love isn't real, family isn't real, connection isn't real, these things are made up, okay? And you could have been around a lot of people who are pessimist or like to bring others down because they feel down themselves. And because you're such an optimist, it's hard for you to fit in with a majority of people because a majority of people are not happy with their lives. They're not happy with their choices. They're not happy with the decisions that they've made. See, even my throat is closing. They see optimism and vulnerability as a weakness, a silliness. You could be someone who even, maybe you like to cry, or people have told you you're too sensitive. And really, those people, they've casted you out because you're a reflection of the emotional intelligence that they don't have, if that makes sense. You just don't fit into the doom and gloom, which if you live in today's society, that's all there is. Everywhere you turn, someone is telling you you're living wrong, you're buying wrong, you're breathing wrong, you're eating wrong, you're doing this wrong, everything's wrong, you know? And you don't buy into that. You trust your intuition and you trust your soul to know that there is a right way to live. And the right way to live isn't dictated by the others around you. You don't fit in because you've chosen happiness. You've chosen to keep your head up. I don't know if you noticed, but nowadays you are severely rewarded for hating your life. Look how much content there is online, and people could say, oh, it's relatable content. And it's just people crying their eyes out on the brink of self-deletion. But there's no solution. They just keep pumping it out. And it's almost like a form of humiliation corn. Do you know what I mean? And people, they sit and they like to watch people be sad, be down and out, be pessimistic about the future. They like to see people not believe. And you have a strong belief in something bigger than yourself. Even the fact that you listen to your dreams, or for some of you that you have a strong connection with your family. These could be reasons why you don't fit in with certain people because they just can't relate to that. You shouldn't have to humiliate yourself with emotions for people to feel closer to you. And I think with this sun energy, maybe you have Leo in your chart. Maybe you have a little bit of pride, but that pride protects you from exploiting yourself to make other people feel comfortable. For some of you, you don't fit in because you don't share everything on social media either, which is what a lot of people do nowadays. They share everything. They have a fight with their husband or wife, they're on TikTok talking about it. Their boss pissed them off, they're on TikTok talking about it. There's something here where you don't fit in because you actually value privacy. And I feel like you value the unseen. You're probably not religious, or even if you are spiritual, you're not the stereotypical spiritual person. There's something about you where you don't take everything at face value. Kitty, don't smell the candle. Wow, pile number one. I feel like we're just like firing it off right off the bat. Your intuition is insane. And you don't hold back to make others feel comfortable. Instead of you cowering, like we were talking about earlier, and being like, look, I'm relatable. Look, I'm sad just like you. You're like, no, I'm me. And I choose happiness, or at least to not fall for the propaganda. That's what I keep hearing. And maybe you see this. You see how everyone is in their own little echo chamber. And how those echo chambers can really suck the soul dry. Also, you could physically not fit in because of your looks. Maybe you have a rare eye color, or vitiligo, or freckles. You know, there's something here about your appearance that definitely makes it hard for you to fit in. If you don't have an appearance that has something as noticeable as that, you could just have grown up where you were one way and everyone around you was a different race or a different culture. So you definitely stick out on the streets when you walk around. But with the family here, I definitely think it has something to do with your genetics that makes you not fit in. It could be your hair color. For some of you guys, you could have really bleach blonde hair. But regardless here, you're someone who couldn't fit in if they tried. But you never try. You're not a try-hard, pile number one. You honestly don't care if you don't fit into spaces. It doesn't really bring you down. There could even be some places or groups where you have the thought, I don't even want to be a part of that. I'm not even offended that you guys don't want me there because I don't want to be there. You seem very content in being with your own energy, which is rare. You know, a lot of people are afraid to be alone, to sit alone, to have to listen to their own thoughts, you know, and you're not afraid of that. So that could be really intimidating. You have an intimidating factor that also makes it hard for you to fit in. Maybe it's the way that you stare, the way that you stand. If you are a masculine, your masculine energy is just like, boom. Okay, I don't know. People can feel it, and you don't even have to say anything or do anything. They just feel it. You could have had energies try to compete with you or just not like you for no reason. You know, you just meet someone and they just don't like you off the rip. For some of you, you could have been like, I didn't even give you a reason not to like me, but it's just because of your energy. People feel how strong it is. And for those who aren't secure enough within themselves, they just naturally feel inferior. There could be some of you that come from a very strong family unit, or there's something here about your family that is the reason you have a lot of self-worth. And that doesn't mean that you didn't have to grow up with a family who was constantly telling you you were beautiful and amazing. You know, you could have grown up with a family that was hard to grow up with too. Regardless of what side of the spectrum you are on, your family life really made you the way you are in some kind of way, whether that's positive or negative. We're going to get into the tarot and see for sure some more information about why you don't fit in. But yeah, you're just a force, okay, to be reckoned with. Oh, got the Seven of Swords popped out in reverse. Yeah, I feel like you've been exposed to a lot of energies that are just clones of other people, or they just follow others. You're a leader. You're not a follower. Tell me more about why pile number one doesn't fit in. The Ace of Pentacles in reverse. My deck is actually in reverse. So let's see. All right, Ace of Pentacles. Let me make sure my deck. Okay, there we go. Tell me more about pile number one. Okay, the Empress. The Emperor. Wow. Okay. Okay, so some of you guys don't fit in because you have a family, because you are married or you're in a relationship, and that is rare nowadays. The Page of Pentacles. Also, something here with your work. We got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, some of you guys don't fit in because you do something different for work, or how you make money is different than others. Maybe some of you are in a business with your significant other. You don't have to be. If you are single, this just means that you're super balanced in your masculine and feminine energy, which is also very rare nowadays. High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. You see beyond surface level BS. That's basically what this is. And that's why you don't fit in, because a lot of people don't see that. And this could be really frustrating for you, because while you're moving with intuition and instinct, other people are just completely blind to the truth. You're not meant to be in groups where people thrive off appearances and shallow connections. You're not a conformist. And with this high intuition here and the balance of the masculine and feminine energy, you just know things, okay? And naturally that makes people a little bit freaked out and kind of stay away from you. But once again, it's the people that aren't in tune with themselves. Your spirit guides, the divine God, whoever you believe in, they really want you to see the fact that you don't fit in as a gift. To get the Sun card in this reading, it's almost like, and the Venus, it's almost like I'm here to tell you that this is the biggest gift that you can have. For some of you with the dreams, you have the gift of prophecy. Okay, you have the gift of, and that sounds crazy, you know, but that's what I'm feeling. You could get messages in your dreams about why you don't fit in. Messages of other worlds, or, you know, things that other people just wouldn't understand. And I will say, you know, the gift of prophecy does not mean you are a prophet, okay? It just means that you are in tune with your soul. So naturally, you get a lot of messages that you actually understand in the dream world, or even when you daydream. There could have been dynamics within your family where you actually felt like you didn't fit in with your family. Maybe some of you look different from your family members, or you just felt like you were born in the wrong household. You could have been treated like an odd stepchild, even though you were genetically just like everybody else, you know, the same blood and everything. But people in your family could have outcasted you. If I were to look at a family reunion and you're with your family and I look through the window, I could probably pick you out with no problem. So some of you have dealt with even your family making you feel like an outsider, making you feel like you don't belong here. But this was also a gift, because so many people are blinded by the label of family to the point where their family controls everything that they do. And if you're someone who never fit in with your family and had to grow your confidence by yourself and figure things out by yourself outside of that family unit, it makes you that much stronger in the real world, because you're not attached to this invisible expectations that families can put onto you. I'm not saying that's negative. You know, your family can want the best for you, but they can also bring in that element of shame, which is why so many people, they don't even tell their family members how they really live, who they really love, what they really want to do. Some people, they will even marry or do certain decisions in their life just to make their family happy, even if they aren't. And for those of you that grew up with a family that didn't support you, or you stuck out like a sore thumb, this was actually a good thing, because now you make decisions based off what you want, not somebody else's expectation of who they want you to be. People really do misrepresent your intentions, though, pile number one. With the Seven of Swords here in reverse, and even the Page of Pentacles wanting to come out reverse, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, people could really question your choices, the way you make money. For some of you, you could say how you feel, and people completely misinterpret that and just hear what they want to hear, or what they have projected onto you. For some of you, you could have been accused of like stealing money or doing something that you would never do, but people just put that label onto you based off their own insecurities. I'm even seeing people like you already don't fit in, but then they still try to like set you up to make you even more of an outcast, and it ends up backfiring because you see through it. And maybe that's why I was getting the like humiliation crying thing. There are people here that just want to knock you down, pile number one. You don't fit in, and you don't want to fit in. But these people, they like desperately want you to be like, please let me fit in. Please let me be a part of your club. But because you made your own club, and you might be the only member, okay? You might be the only member in that club, you and the moon, and your spirit team. But you're still shining and having fun, and it could really get under people's skin. Like, why don't you care that you're not invited to my club? It's like, because your club sucks. You're always full of new opportunities, new fresh energy. And this really triggers people who are stuck, stagnant, who have one good idea and they do that same idea over and over and over again. They don't reach for more. And you always reach for more. You always reach for the stars. For some of you, I know this sounds weird, but if you aren't already, you're meant to be in a relationship dynamic that is even better than the one you grew up in. So if you grew up in a bad home, or even if you grew up in a good home, you are meant to have this dynamic, if you don't already, that is even better than the one you grew up in. I'm also seeing that you look like you have it all together. So there are people that kind of stay away from you because of that. I know that sounds crazy, but it's almost like, oh, they have it all together, they don't need me. Or they don't, I don't know. I feel like you've been around a lot of people who get off to people needing them. And not in like a charity or like doing good things for other people kind of way. Like they need people to need them because otherwise they feel useless, or they feel like, I don't know, it's very strange. A lot of issues with insecurities from other people that they try to project onto you. For some of you, just showing up, I'm telling you, makes people want to outcast you. And it's because you walk different, you talk different, you have conviction in your tone. And you don't just believe what people say to you. And to those that, with the Seven of Swords in reverse, that are used to moving with hidden motives, you can see right through it. So they don't even want to be around you. Why would they want to be around someone who can see all their shady business? And Kitty is moving this card, and the death card is in reverse underneath it. I knew my deck was all messed up. I gotta fix that. But yeah, this is really people that just don't want to change. They want to do the same thing. They want to live in the same place. They want to talk to the same people. There's never progress. And you're someone who is always changing, always moving. You don't fit in pile number one because that's just not in your DNA. Okay? That is just not in your DNA. Big generational curse breaker vibes when it comes to you. This is a really random message. This won't be for everyone, but for some of you guys, you have had a parent who was jealous of your romantic relationship or felt some kind of way about it, so they tried to sabotage it or talk bad to you, about you, to that person that you were with. There's something shady here with people wanting to ruin opportunities for you out of bitterness for their own situation. So just be careful of that. Obviously, you're protected. I don't mean be careful like something is going to pop out. I just mean don't let everybody in. And you probably already know this. Keep it private, especially with certain people, because, I don't know, people are spiteful and weird. And you're not like that at all. If you have a loss, you take accountability and you keep moving. Other people don't do that. Some people, they take a loss and they want everybody to lose with them. And this is also why you don't fit in. Because above all, pile number one, you have integrity, loyalty, confidence. You are a rare breed. But that is your reading, pile number one, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. Hey, pile two, we're going to get right into your reading and see why you don't fit in. If this reading resonates with you when it is over, let me know down in the comments. I'm super curious. And please like this video if you want to see more videos like this. Kitty has taken over the spread, okay? So we're just going to have to deal with it. Also, we're going to get the cards out. I'm going to get into the message, and then we'll clarify with the tarot. Okay. But you got number 25. Gratitude, divine grace, bounty. At the heart of your being, you can find all the love of the universe. The lucky card. North Node. The very thing that challenges you can be transformed into your greatest strength. And spend some time on self-care. Pile number 2. Right off the bat here, I can see that you are in line with your purpose, which is automatically not something a lot of people nowadays are on track with. In my head, I keep getting this example too of that show from a long time ago. I think it was called Once Upon a Time, where all the fairy tale characters didn't know who they were, and they were put in this random town in America, and they just thought they were normal people. And it's kind of this sentiment where a lot of people nowadays are asleep, okay? They don't really know what their purpose is, or if they do, they're not necessarily in alignment with that. And with the self-care card here, it tells me that you have done a lot to get to where you are, but to other people, it could just look like luck. Maybe you have perfectionist tendencies, or you could be someone when you're dealing with challenges, you retreat and deal with them on your own. You don't ask others for help, things like that. So part of the reason you don't fit in, you could be seeing yourself out. There could be people that want you to be a part of their group or a part of their life, or even to know more about how you're so aligned with their purpose or your purpose, And maybe you feel like you can't really show certain sides of yourself, or you're just naturally taking on things on your own. So on the surface, you look so like you have it together. And it can be intimidating for other people because they're like, okay, when does the mask fall? Do they ever have a bad moment? Do they ever have a bad day? And you do, but your bad days is when you retreat and you purposely don't fit in. You don't show up. So I feel like you're someone who could fit in if they want to or when they want to. And when you don't want to, you become the outcast. You get to play both sides, all depending on where your energy is at that day. With the North Node too, and this lady, she looks so fancy in this card. It's reminding me of geishas, or, just real fancy. And there's something here where for some of you, you feel like you don't fit in because you're in the wrong spaces. You're supposed to be in a more elevated space with elevated people. I don't know what that means, but it seems like the people that are around you now, you've kind of outgrown that. And that's no shade to them. You know what I mean? We outgrow people, spaces, and things all the time. We're humans, we're constantly evolving and growing. And you're meant to be in spaces that are just more elevated. There's something here about once you find your tribe, you will fit in like a puzzle piece. It's like you're on your way to finding your soul tribe, maybe. Like I said, there's a chance for you to fit in if you want to. But I think that maybe you want to fit into something deeper or more elevated, something that matches the energy that you are at in your life right now. This is interesting, pile number 2. It's all in your hands. For some of you, you have gotten comfortable being the outcast, and now you're coming out of that. I'm seeing coming out of hermit mode. And you're on your way to places where you will be fitting in, and you will be surrounded by people who have similar ideas or similar morals. This could be, getting into a workspace where you are with people who do your craft, or it feels like being around people who just get it. So there could be spaces where you used to fit in, but you don't resonate with that anymore. You don't resonate with those ideas. And you could be ready for that soul tribe. You could even see now that being rejected from certain spaces was actually a good thing, because it allowed you to align to where you are meant to fit in. I keep hearing that. You are on your way to feeling a part of something. We're going to get into the tarot and see for sure. Clarify this for pile number 2. Why don't they fit in? Thank you so much. Okay, you got the Temperance. cards are so big. The Four of Cups. The Five of Pentacles. Yeah. The Emperor. Kitty, I need a space for one more card. And the Page of Pentacles. Okay. Queen of Cups and the Ten of Cups at the bottom of the deck. I am getting this energy here of you guys not fitting in romantically in certain spaces because you desire an actual soulful connection. Especially, I know this sounds weird because there's not really any sexual cards here, but I feel it. Especially when it comes to sexual relationships. We live in a time where there is so much vulgarity, so much sex being sold, but there is no actual eroticism, no actual desire, no actual closeness. And some of you guys don't fit in because you are not willing to just settle for a companionship or a relationship just to say you have one. You're not willing to settle for a intimate relationship just to say that you're getting some. Because for you, there's something deeper where you require like a soul deep devotion connection with someone. And I know I keep bringing up, the topic of, intimacy and things. I don't know how many times I can say that word, guys. So I'm just going to say intimacy right now. You don't want empty connections with people. And you can see how empty intimacy has become, how it's not valued in a way that you value it. So I think this also makes you not fit in because other people could just be like, oh, it's fun, it's this, it's whatever, but you see it as like, no, this is something sacred. Sex is still sacred to you. And this might sound wild, but for some of you, there is more soul in the act of you touching yourself than there is with most people when they're in bed with someone else. There are people who are like married nowadays who can't even look each other in the eyes when they do it. They don't even kiss on the mouth. Do you understand what I mean? And you don't fit in because you have decided that's not what I want. Maybe for some of you guys, you do want marriage or you do want a connection. You do want to be with someone, but you're not willing to give up that soul level connection that you want. That is your standard. You don't want it cheap and fast and easy. You want it in alignment. So that just sets you apart from most people because most people, they really don't think about it that much. You know what I mean? They really don't. There are so many unlimited ways to feel easy pleasure nowadays, and all of them are so empty. So you don't fit in because you're someone who believes in going back to the basics when it comes to something, or just for things to actually be real. Whatever path you're on, I feel like it's bringing you more into deeper connections and deeper environments. Because you could have recently realized that where you are doesn't really match how much your soul has grown recently or within, the recent past. Since you naturally have that depth and heart to you, it sets you apart. And it could feel like rejection with the Five of Pentacles here sometimes where you're like, man, I really am seeking something that others don't even know what it is or don't even understand what I'm talking about. Because the Four of Cups here is kind of boredom. It's like you being bored with your surroundings or the people around you, your options. It's not giving what you want. But also with the Four of Cups, there's usually that one cup that we're not seeing. And I think that is that elevated space that you're meant to be in. So there's something here that you physically, and this isn't to say that you need to spend more money. That's not what I mean. It just means that you need to be around people who inspire you or are in the same energy as you. This could be why we picked up earlier on you pulling your energy back. You pull your energy back when you feel that it's shallow. And this is why you don't fit in because you're not even willing to entertain shallow behavior or shallow situations. If it's not deep, you're not going to be there and you're going to retreat. So once again, you guys could fit into those spaces, but they feel kind of beneath you energetically. And I don't mean that to say that you're above people. But let's be real. There are certain situations that, yes, are below us, okay? I don't know why people act like every situation in the world is equal. It's not. There are people that choose to engage in behavior that is a lower frequency. Okay? So I just feel that here where you guys are above it. And maybe because I got in that energy, other people could feel like, oh, well, you just think you're so, goody two-shoes or self-righteous or whatever. But you just know what you want and what you don't want, and you require a non-shallow connection or a non-shallow space. If people aren't deep in integrity, deep in purpose, deep in alignment, deep in their faith, whatever it is to you, you are not effing with it. Because with this lucky card, you have a lot of blessings, or you feel very blessed, and you know that hanging out in the wrong spaces with the wrong people can take all those blessings away. So this is your time to elevate and be around the right people. Okay, Kitty, just grab that star down because you're a star. And if you're a star, you're on this channel, you're not meant to be in spaces with people who just are into debauchery. And I'm not judging people. I'm just saying, it's not your vibe. And you know that. Even with the Temperance, this is literally you guys sitting between two worlds. You're like, I could fit in there, but it's not my vibe. But I'm also almost here. You literally can, some of you guys are really good where you could hang out. Like I'm getting this example where you can go to the hood and fit in. Or you can go into, Wall Street and fit in. You can fit in anywhere. But it's all about where do you want to fit in, pile number 2. Where do you feel more in alignment? Okay, because you are definitely sitting between two worlds right now. You have the opportunity to fit in, but you also have the opportunity to be an outcast, okay, or be an outsider, or to create your own space, or to find other outsiders, The road less traveled, okay, as Robert Frost says. We all know that poem. If you don't, that's crazy. I don't know, pile number 2. Maybe you were born with the gift to fit in, but maybe the real gift is you choosing to not fit in. It's giving I could if I wanted to, but maybe you don't really want to. There could have been situations in the past where you were, popular, or you fit in perfectly to a certain group or space, and you could be years past that and finally learning the beauty in isolation or self-care, or just the beauty in being by yourself and not being around all the noise. Heavy on the fact that you're in a huge transition period right now, and where you're transitioning to is important, but what's super important is this transition period. Because you're actually discovering what you really want from the universe and what you are like, no thank you, I'm good on that. For some of you, maybe you did have the fun, cheap sex, okay? And now you're like, no, I want something real now. I want something deeper. That's not even really that fun to me anymore, or fulfilling. I just heard less fast food, more home-cooked meals with love, okay? Take that as a metaphor, or maybe it's literal. Kitty has been covering the Emperor and the Page of Pentacles, so I forgot to mention this, but with the Emperor card, okay, no one can control you. And that's also why you don't fit in. The Emperor, nobody controls the Emperor. He controls everything, okay? So, yeah, you can't be tamed. Not me getting that Miley Cyrus song, I can't be tamed. You can't be tamed, pile number 2. And maybe you are wild at heart, but you're starting to discover that you can still be wild without it being fast and cheap. This is going to come in the form of you guys just not resonating with the people around you, the spaces around you. It's slowly going to start to get boring. And it's not that it's boring necessarily, it's just you've grown out of it. It's kind of like when we really, really are into a band when we're young, and then we get older and we can't even listen to them anymore because we're like, why did I like that band so much? Or why did I think this was so amazing? And it's because at that time, you resonated with it. But yeah, pile number 2, you're kind of learning that it's fun not to fit in. And the real stuff is so much better than the easy stuff, the accessible stuff. Your keywords for this reading are deep, not cheap. But that is your reading, pile number 2, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. Hey, pile 3, we're going to get right into your reading and see why you don't fit in. If this reading resonates with you when it is over, let me know down in the comments. I'm super curious. And please like this video if you want to see more videos like this. Pile number 3. I don't know why, but I was channeling the song by LMFAO, I'm Sexy and I Know It, and I haven't heard that song in years. So you guys definitely have a bit of a wacky energy to you in a good way, not a bad way. But we're going to get your cards out, get into the message, and I'll clarify it with the tarot. So let's see what you got. Number 17, intimacy, dreams, and intuition. In my secret garden, there is me and me. This is so funny, pile number 3. This card is like a combination of piles 1 and 2. There's something here about you feeling as if you were born in the wrong generation. Or that you long for a place where things are more slow, more heartfelt or heart-led. You also got number 30, table, Uranus. Listen to your inner music. And work easy. Allow yourself to be in flow and enjoy what you do. Yeah, there's just this energy of longing for, what is it called? Third places? Or with the table here, I'm just seeing people sitting around, talking, having deep conversations, connecting, relating to each other. These are things you crave. And you could try to go to places like this or meet other people and things don't really work out. Maybe you feel as if it's not as easy as it used to be, or maybe it was never easy for you. But you're definitely someone who tries to fit in, not in a try-hard way, but in a way where you crave connection. And you crave, I'm hearing the old world, or how something used to be. There's a nostalgic quality to this. With the Uranus here too, it could be hard for you to fit in because although you are heart-led, you're super bold. Or there is a rebellious quality to you. There's a bit of a flair for dramatics, or people could have called you dramatic, and I don't mean that in a bad way, okay? I'm a Leo sun. I can be really dramatic, okay, about certain things, but this could be how you are too. And with the Sacred Heart here, it's reminding me of Mother Mary. You wear your heart on your sleeve, and people just aren't like that nowadays. They don't feel safe to be themselves. They feel policed is what I'm hearing because, you know, you say the wrong thing, you do the wrong thing, you're canceled. Oh my gosh, the mob comes after you. But you seem to be someone who doesn't really care about following the norms that way or policing yourself. But at the same time, you do try to connect with others, even with all of that bold energy within you. You're like the cool misfit, okay? And this could intimidate other people because yeah, you want to be friends or connect romantically or whatever, but you're also like, I'm not going to sugarcoat or water down my spice, my boldness, how unapologetic I am. So I think you value actual authenticity over materialism or flashiness. You'd rather have a deep conversation with someone sitting at a table over driving around in their fancy car. So that could also be why it's hard for you to fit in, because you're just not into the trends or the micro trends. Or if you are into trends, you're probably into trends from the past, the 70s, 80s, 90s. Some of you guys could like to dress in certain trends from the past. I just heard you're always a decade behind when it comes to fashion, or a couple decades behind. You just live life differently. And the way you go with the flow could be shocking to other people. With the listen to your inner music, your energy has a different rhythm than others. You could even walk different or have a little swagger when you stand or lean on something. There's just this air about you that's a different rhythm than everyone else. And this is why when you try to go into spaces and make connections, it's a mismatch. Because you're living authentically and others might not be in the same energy as you. You could have a really big imagination, a deep imagination, visual memory. It could be really easy for you to visualize things. And that deep inner world could also set you apart because you always seem to be in your own world or doing your own thing. You're not worried about what the crowd says, but you also kind of want to be a part of the crowd, but that's why it doesn't work. I'm hearing the divine, your spirit team, whoever you believe in, they want you to create your own space because this imaginary world you live in could be in reality too. Because no matter how much you want to connect with others, if those other people don't want to meet you at that level, it's just going to be that mismatch of energy. Let's clarify with the tarot and see for sure. So pile number 3, what makes them not fit in? I wanted to say what makes you stand out. You stand out for sure. Clarify this for pile number 3. What makes them not fit in? Why don't they fit in? Thank you so much. The 10 of Cups. Yeah, you're happy in your own little world. The 5 of Wands. Okay, you could have trouble fitting in because you have such a strong personality or persona. People could feel threatened by this if they also have a strong personality. They could feel this need to compete with you. You also got the Knight of Pentacles. You could be a late bloomer. The 3 of Wands in reverse. 2 more. Pile number 3. The Tower. Wow. And the Emperor and the King of Cups. I'll take both. We got the Emperor in all of the piles today. That tells me that my collective is definitely in control of something. Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck, too. You're meant to shake stuff up. That's really what I'm seeing here, pile number 3. You are meant to not fit in because you not fitting in is vital. There's something vital about you being your authentic self that is so important, even for the groups of people that don't let you in or reject you or you don't even want to be a part of. You are a living example of what it means to be your weird, freaky self without having to answer to anyone else. You could also not fit in because there could be people that feel uncomfortable in their own energy, but you could consider yourself like a lone wolf or you thrive when you're alone. This is really specific, but if you're a masculine and you date other feminines, you could not fit in because you didn't listen to them or like you still stood with your own conviction through something, like you didn't just bow to somebody, you know? There's this energy of you just being in control of yourself and your energy, and it could bother people that they can't take you out of that. I don't know why I keep getting this example of like a feminine hitting on a masculine and the masculine rejecting her and she just like being baffled because you don't just fall to the temptation easily. I'm hearing most men would have just fell for it, but you desire connection, but you're not going to give up your control just to have one. And with the King of Cups, you're really loving, so that control isn't a negative thing. It's just you can see through when someone is trying to seduce you to have control over you or if they genuinely desire you. So there's something here where you did not fit into somebody's idea of what masculine energy should be. And if you are a feminine, this just means you choose logic over emotions in a way that could be baffling to masculines because you know the stereotype of women being controlled by their emotions. You could be the opposite of that. There's something here that you're in control of, and because it says in my secret garden there is me and me, it is you. You are in control of you. I feel like you're the type of person where if you can't control your external forces, you're like, well, at least I can control myself and how I react to things. So this really sets you apart from other people because a lot of people, they don't have self-control. They're at the whim of every desire, every feeling, every impulse. So this is also why you don't fit in. With the Ten of Cups here too and the Tower, there could have been a lot of people or situations, groups that disappointed you. Because you have this idealized version of yourself in the world, or you live a certain way, I think sometimes you do expect the people around you to live up to that expectation. And it's really hard to match an Emperor's energy. So there could have been a lot of disappointment with people where you felt like, oh, we fit, we're soul family, I fit in here, and then come to find out that it really wasn't as good of a fit as you thought. But I don't think that brings you down. You're on the search for something real. And with the Five of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, it feels like you will fight to get there because you know that it exists. For some of you with the King of Cups, you've felt this deep connection before. I just heard you're a man of your word, so that also sets you apart. There's a lot of masculine energy here, obviously. But even if you're a feminine, you don't make promises you can't keep. You're reliable and responsible, and you're also really compassionate or empathetic with other people. So you do see things from other people's perspective, even when they're doing you dirty, which is also very strange nowadays, you know, compared to most people who really just don't care at all about others. Pile number 3, why do I keep getting this message of people mad that you don't want to hang out with them or date them or sleep with them? Specifically feminine energies. And I know that I have a majority of feminines that watch me, but this is for a masculine watching this. You have impeccable D control. That's all I can say. But regardless of your gender, like even if you're a feminine, you are not just going to sleep with anyone or go out with anyone. There's this level of self-worth where you will never be desperate. That's really what it is. You will never be desperate for love. Even if you want that soul connection, there's not desperate energy here at all. So there are some people salty, even my feminines, that you've turned down where they're like, really? I look better. Like, I don't know. It's just real, you know, when people hit on you and then they get mad because you don't want to be with them. Yeah, this is amazing energy, pile number 3. You're the type of person where you will know real love when you see it, when you feel it, when you taste it. You will know because your intuition is just that sharp. You probably have dealt with a lot of fake people or people who like to pretend to be in love, or romance to them is just a Facebook status. It's not an actual thing. It's funny because we're doing a reading why you don't fit in, but I think you've met a lot of people where you have thought, you don't fit into my world. I'm not letting you in here. You also don't fit in because you will call out petty BS with no problem. You're not afraid of confrontation. Look, the candle just went out. You're not afraid to tell somebody like, hey, you were wrong. You need to take accountability. You're not just going to swallow it down to make somebody feel better. If it's somebody you love too, like a family member, you might even be harder on them when you lecture or certain things because you love them. There's this energy here with the King of Cups and the Emperor where it's like, you tell it like it is. And the fact that you don't sugarcoat stuff really disrupts people's reality, but it's exactly what they need. There could even be people who try to have ego battles with you. Especially if you're a masculine, other feminines could try to have ego battles. I don't know why this keeps coming up, but seriously, there is this element of you having to thwart off like trashy women. I don't know how else to say that. I'm sorry. You know? But regardless of your gender, you're not afraid to call somebody out for doing something foul. And you're not afraid to speak up when it's necessary. With the 2 of Cups and the 10 of Cups, you do belong somewhere, pile number 3. But it's not in groups. You belong in a one-on-one soul connection. I think you thrive better in one-on-one connections over group dynamics. Because a lot of people can't handle your energy. I mean, you have strong energy, pile number 3. It's going to take a cut above the rest to even be able to stimulate you. Do you guys know that song from Coming to America? Why am I hearing that? Just let your soul glow or grow. I don't know. You need somebody who's going to be doing that soul work like you. But yeah, pile number 3, that was your reading. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.